up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hello, my name is Emily. I like to make Disney videos sometimes, and during the whole month of January I am posting 2 Disney/Disney College Program videos a week, all about Disney, all about the DCP. I want to help you guys as much as I can for your Disney College Program. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the bell. That way you can be notified whenever I post a video. And also feel free to come follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of Disney content there, as well as lifestyle content, as well as my own personal content, because it is just my Instagram, and I'm actually about to hit 30,000 followers on Instagram. So if you want to be really nice and make my day and help me hit that 30k, that rhymed, okay. I also kind of want to do a giveaway when I hit 30,000. I think I'm gonna do it, but don't hold me to it in case I don't. Anyway, so please go follow me at EmilyNels8 on Instagram. You can also find me on Snapchat, Spotify. You can also find me on Snapchat and Spotify and Instagram and Twitter, and all EmilyNels8 with an extra, all at EmilyNels with an extra 8 at the end. Anyways, I was trying to be James Charles. So today's video is unfortunately not as happy, not as sunshine and rainbows, because today we are talking about the harsh realities of the DCP. What can you expect on your Disney College Program, truthfully, like the honest truth? The tea about the DCP. Realistically, like what's gonna happen on your Disney College Program? I just feel like a lot of people's idea of the Disney College Program can get very obstructed and can, a lot of times I think they have this really big expectation as to what it's going to be, and in actual reality it's nothing like that. And unfortunately I think a lot of it comes from people like me and like DCP vloggers who all we post is Disney videos and how much fun our DCP is. And that's awesome, like why wouldn't we post about how much fun our DCP is? But something we don't post about is what it's actually like in our work, because we can't take you guys along with us at our work no matter how much we want to. But I think because of that, and because we tend to show you the really happy side, and I've seen comments like this saying, oh, the Disney College Program is not what Emily Enchanted makes out to be, and I was like, well, okay. I just want you guys to know this is not to tell you to not do the DCP. This is not me hating on the DCP. These aren't the views of the Walt Disney Company. These are all my own opinions and kind of based on my Disney College Program and based on what my other friends experienced during their Disney College Program. This is just to prepare you and just so you know, and just so you know exactly what you're signing up for, and you don't apply for one thing thinking it's a completely different other thing. So just keep that in mind. I hope that you guys appreciate that I'm actually talking about the realness and the truthful side of the DCP. This is probably going to be the most negative video out of the whole DCP series, but I think it's very important for me to talk about this, and so I'm gonna do it. So first, I just want to explain to you, I think, what a common misconception of the DCP is. I think the whole reason why people do it, myself included, is so you can come and essentially live in Walt Disney World and get to go to Disney World every single day, because you do get into the parks for free. As a Disney cast member, you get into all of Disney World for free, and that's why people do it. They want to take off a semester of school and they want to come here and they want to just play in Disney World every day. And hey, me too. That's exactly what I wanted to do. That's why I came here. I just wanted to go to Disney World every single day, you know, make videos and just have a fun, carefree semester. And that's totally okay. There's just a lack of people talking about that the Disney College Program is actually not like that at all. You don't get to go to Disney World every day. I mean, you can go to Disney World every day if you really want to, but I don't know anybody who actually goes to Disney World every day. I don't go to Disney World every day. It's just so much more than just getting into the parks for free and just going into Disney World and playing. And although that is a huge benefit and that is definitely a big part of your program, it's not everything. Don't feel pressured to go to the parks all the time, but also I don't want you guys to waste your Disney College Program either. So just keep that in mind. Like, if you need to sleep, if you need your own me time, don't feel bad about not going to the parks. Like, please don't feel bad, because that is so much more important. However, like, if you are only going to be there for a short amount of time, just know you're going to be very, very, very tired, like most of the time, but you just might have to push through that if you want to make the most out of it. First reality I want to talk about is going to be your job and how much you work. So the whole point of the Disney College Program is for you to come down to Disney World and to work for the Walt Disney Company, to help them out basically. Everything else, getting into the parks for free, living here, DCP housing, friends, whatever, that all comes after your job. Your job is kind of the most important part of your DCP. Where the issue comes in is that people forget that they actually came down here for a job. You came down here to work. It really is like a professional internship or a co-op. Like, you were here to work. Other added benefits, they come after your job. And so you actually will be working a lot on your program. And I know that I could say this so much and you probably aren't gonna really understand that, because it's not something that you can really understand until you get here and you're actually working. I will never forget when I got that first schedule. I don't know how many hours I was working, probably like maybe 34. I remember looking at it and I was like, wow, that's a lot. It was kind of a shock to me, honestly. Even though I knew that I was there for work, I was so blessed because I had my dream role that, I mean, I was so excited to work, but it was a lot. And I don't know if 35 hours seems like a lot or not a lot to you guys, but to me, as someone who didn't really work that much, it was a lot. When you come down here, you are coming down here to work as basically a full-time employee. You will be getting anywhere from 30 to 59 hours a week. It all depends on your location, how many people they have working there, what time of year it is, your managers, etc. Another thing to expect is, this is so cheesy, expect the unexpected. And what I mean by that is, I think with the Disney College program, a lot of people have these really high expectations as to exactly how it's gonna go. At least I did. I planned out my Disney College program perfectly to a T. I knew exactly how it was gonna go. And you know what? It didn't really go like that at all. There was a lot of things that happened during my Disney College program that I would have never expected to happen, both for the good and the bad. Like I said, it's all good and bad things, but there was a lot that happened that was very unexpected. Your roommates, for example, you might have like the most perfect group of 6 girls and you are all so close and best friends and you cannot wait to start your DCP, and then you get there and then one of them turns out to be psycho. Or, you know, you have the most perfect group of roommates, you can't wait to move in, and then a week before your Disney College program is supposed to start, one of them completely ghosts you guys and is not going to do the Disney College program. Or it's check-in day and you go and you check in and you're so excited to get your apartment. You really wanted that 3-bedroom, 6-person apartment. You get there, it turns out you have a 4-bedroom, 8-person apartment. You have 2 random roommates. Who are they? You don't know. You had no idea. And then one of them ends up being your absolute best friend that you weren't even planning on rooming with them in the first place. Or another thing that does happen, although rare, does happen. You get hired on for a certain job and Disney transfers you to another job. For example, let's say you get hired as a performer. You attend the character performer audition, you make it all the way through to the end, you get that email, you got accepted as a character performer, you get here during your first week of training, something goes wrong, and all of a sudden you are now a character attendant. Now, when I say something goes wrong, there could be a million things that happen. It could be both on you. Maybe you decide the role's too much, you can't handle it, you need a different role. Maybe Disney decides, I'm really sorry, you just can't be this role for whatever reason. There's a million things. Or maybe you're in quick service food and beverage and turns out you're allergic to something they cook with, you can't be in that role. I'm not saying this to scare you guys, but it is possible. A lot of people come here expecting to do one role and then they get another role. For me, for example, my unexpected, I would say, is I never expected to have as many subscribers on YouTube as I do now and get to be a Disney influencer, I guess, and like get to be friends with people that I used to look up to. It could be really good stuff that happens and it could be really bad stuff, but whatever happens, you just gotta push through it and know that it's hopefully happening for some sort of reason, and you might not know right now, but at some point you'll realize it was for the better, I promise. Another thing to expect is to never see your friends. That sounds really harsh. That's just like an abbreviated way to say it. So you are going to be working all the time, 5 days a week, let's say. Your roommate and your best friend, they are also working 5 days a week. But her off days are different than your off days. So what do? When she's free, you're working. When you're free, she's working. So you never get to see each other at all. It definitely might be harder to hang out with someone or to get to know them if they're constantly working when you are, and vice versa. And that's where your work friends come in, because if you're at work all the time, you want to make sure you have friends there. This doesn't mean you're never going to get to hang out with my friends at all. I know for me, Haley, my best friend from the program, we literally hung out like all the time. And what we would do is we would sit down and she would tell me her schedule and I would tell her my schedule, and we would find days. If she was off at 7 p.m. one day and I was off at 8, then maybe we could go grab ice cream that night. Or if she didn't go until 12 and I went in at 1 p.m., then, you know, we could go and get breakfast that morning, or we could go, it's just the little things. You have to find time. There definitely is time to hang out with people. You just have to try. It really is an effort. You both have to make the conscious effort to try and hang out. It also might be very easy though. When Jonathan came and did his DCP and I was still in my DCP, we both had these same off days. We were both off at least every single Thursday. So it was very, very easy for us to hang out. It might really just be more so like weeks or days where you find yourself and you're just like, oh, everyone's busy, like I don't know what to do. It's not going to be your whole entire college program. On the topic of friends, what to expect, what is it going to be like making friends? Is it hard? Is it easy? I would say I think it's actually a lot easier to make friends than you think it is. I really don't think I'm that good at making friends. Like I'm really not. And I had a really good amount of friends on my Disney college program. So if I can do it, you can do it. I think it's really easy because you're constantly surrounded by people your age and who kind of have the same interests of you, mainly that being that you like Disney and that you're all here for the same reason. I think that's why wherever you work, you're going to get close to that. And if you're working with the same people all the time, then you are naturally just going to get close to them. It might take you reaching out to someone. It might take you saying, oh, hey, like, what's your name? Like, I've never met you before. It might take a little bit of time before you really make those good friends at work, but it'll happen. And outside of work too, you have your roommates to be friends with. You have the people who live in the same building as you to be friends with. Although I didn't really know anybody in my building, but that's okay. You just make friends in the weirdest places. You make friends while you're riding the DCP bus one day. You make friends while you're buying something from the Emporium, and then the person who checks you out is also a CP too, you know? Expect to make friends and expect to make lifelong friends. Another point is expect to get homesick. You more than likely are going to be far away from home. I moved all the way from Texas to Florida. I didn't know anybody in Florida prior to coming to my DCP. I only knew the people that I met like through the Facebook group, you know, so I moved here, dropped everything for the DCP basically, and it's hard and you really do get homesick. You miss the people back home, and I think it's different for everybody. Because it depends on how good of a life you had at home and at your college if it's not the same place. So for example, I find that a lot of people who are in relationships and have to leave their significant other at home, they are probably going to get more homesick than someone like me who didn't have a relationship back at home, so I had no like strings attached, you know? And so they might find themselves wanting to go home more. They might find themselves missing home a little bit more because they have that one person that means so much to them. Or like if you're really, really close with your family and if you haven't really been far away from them for a while, you might find yourself being really, really homesick. For me, I go to college. So for a year and a half, I was able to get used to being away from my family and not being with them 24/7, which is still weird and it's still hard even to this day, but at least I was more prepared. So doing something like the DCP, it was a little bit easier. It was still hard though because I had to go, you know, 4 or 5 months without seeing my family, rather than in college I would go like 6 weeks. Every 6 weeks I would somehow get to see my family. So you definitely might get homesick and it definitely might be a really hard thing you have to conquer, but I think when you get to those points, remember why you're here, remember why you wanted to do the DCP. If you're just here for the DCP, know that you're about to go home so soon. Like you literally probably just have a few months left. For me, whenever I was feeling down, I would just go watch Happily Ever After, and that would, you know, make things a little bit better, because there are things here that you can't get anywhere else. You can't just go and watch Happily Ever After whenever you want. You can't just go and hang out with Mickey Mouse or have breakfast with Pooh and friends whenever you want. Like that's such a unique thing, and so I encourage you to really enjoy it and use it as much to your ability here before you go back home. This one. Expect to hate your job. I'm not saying you're going to hate your job all the time. I'm not saying all the jobs are awful. I'm not saying that you're going to hate your job, but I am saying that there might be days where you just really, really don't want to go to work and you just really don't like your job. For me, I loved my job. When I came down here, I got to do my dream role as a character performer. I was doing something I'd wanted to do for so long, and I still had days where I did not want to go to work. It really doesn't have anything to do with your job, but I mean it might. It might. Even if you love your job, you might have those days where you just don't want to go. Or you might have those days where you're like, I just want to go play in the parks. I don't want to go work right now. And I think that might happen more so in the beginning of your program. And that's going to be really hard to get through because you're going to have to work and you have responsibilities. Wow, I know. And you aren't able to just go in the parks and play all the time. And that's hard. But you have to remember, again, why you came down here. Remember how fortunate you are to have the job that you have. Because no matter what job you have on your Disney College program, somebody else out there wants your job. Somebody else would give literally anything in the world to be you because you got into the DCP and you get to work for Disney World. There are so many people out there who never even make it into the DCP. They don't even get past applied. So sometimes it just really takes that second to think back why you're here, how lucky you are, how fortunate you are. I've heard of a lot of people who they don't really like their job that much on their CP, but it's the people that really make it special. It's the people that make it everything they want and more, and so they're able to push through that job and they're able to make it the best that they can because they love their coworkers, they love their friends, or they love their DCP. Your job might not be the best, but if there are other benefits, you have to remember those benefits. Is it worth it for me to have this job? Because although, you know, I might not be having a lot of fun right now, after work I get to go watch Happily Ever After with the love of my life that I met here, and that makes this job worth it, you know? I do think a lot of it is what you make out of it. Every role is a starring role. Remember that no matter what job you are making magic. You are making a difference for someone. You are doing something that most people will never get to do, and that is so amazing. That is so cool. Then, leading to my last point, expect to think about self-terming. If you have a role and it is just so bad, like there is just no light at the end of the tunnel, and you think you need a self-term, that is okay. There is nothing wrong with self-terming. You are not giving up. You are not a failure. No one's going to think any worse of you. That is a big thing that people think, is that, oh my god, like you self-termed, like wow, couldn't make it through, haha. No, not at all. If your job just isn't worth it, if the DCP just isn't worth it to you, and it might not be to some people. Unfortunately, the DCP might not be what some people thought it was, or it might be everything they thought it was. They might be having so much fun, but it's like for their certain career, it's just a waste of time. Or I know a lot of people, they miss their significant other too much. Like it's not worth it to be away from them for so long. They miss their family too much. It's just not worth it to be here doing this when they could be, you know, I don't know, getting married, I guess. It's okay to self-term. It's okay to just think about self-terming. It's okay to like try to reevaluate your life and be like, should I be here? Like, was this a mistake? Whatever. It's definitely not a mistake doing the DCP, but if you feel like you need to leave early, that is okay. And I just want to talk about it because I don't think people understand that. I know a lot of people who have self-termed and they are so much more happier than they ever have been in their life, and I think that is so cool. It's okay to self-term, and I just wanted to say that. Did I ever self-term? No, obviously. Did I ever think about self-terming? Not really, no. But did I ever reevaluate my life and wonder if I actually wanted to stay here after my DCP? Yes, there was definitely a time in my life. No, there's definitely a couple times where I was like, is this really what I want to be doing? Like, I'm gonna finish my program, but is this really what I want to do after my program? Like, do I actually want to stay here? I definitely had those times. It's completely normal. I think it happens to most people. They wonder, like, is this what it's all about? Like, is this it? You know what I mean? Sometimes it ain't it. And that's okay. So that's it. Those are all the expectations. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too harsh for you. I just wanted to be so honest with you guys. If this was too much for you, later on this week we have a happier video coming out. So with that being said, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Give it a like if this video helped you in any shape or form, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, peace out. Bye.